Hey guys, you won't believe what I'm doing. I feel kind of dumb doing it, but this is how desperate I am and how easy I am to get caught into social media and mind game type things in society. The big corporations that prey on the vulnerability and fear of the little guy, like me, because I'm so nervous about money right now, and my ex doesn't contribute to my daughter's care and wants me to pay for his airfare and hotel and rental car to visit her. And let's not even get into how upsetting that is. But then I have all these other legal bills, mostly related to that. And then the rents are really super high in California, and I've got to figure out how to stay here, you know. And I'm living in this wonderful town because I want my daughter to go to this wonderful school, and so I'm kind of looking at it like, you know, as if she were in private school and I could afford that, which I would not do private school because I believe in public school, and the public school here is great, but it's just like the pressure of it all is getting to me, and God, I was stolen from over the last 6 months by guys who were painting for me, and then they were buying all this stuff on my account for themselves, and then one guy was like charging me all this money for guys that were supposedly working for him that were not working for him, not on my house, and oh my God, thousands and thousands of dollars went toward nothing happening on my property, and I could just shoot myself for allowing it, for not picking up on it sooner, you know, for letting him just take advantage of me like that, and just trusting him, you know. I was trusting, and I hate to say it, but you really should not trust too many people. If you can trust a few people, you're in good, but I mean, most people, this guy promised me so much about just, you know, really putting my house as a priority, and he completely just tossed that whole thing after 2 weeks. And it makes me sick to think how much I've probably spent enough money to pay for the painting of that house twice, and it's only been primed, and actually not even the whole thing. So in the meantime, I'm feeling kind of like, oh God. So I get this stuff in the mail. You know what I get? I get the Publishers Clearinghouse prize-winning sweepstakes thing, which I actually filled out, and that's what this video is about. That when you're freaking out about money, which we often do on this planet, except for the super rich, and they just play money games and greed games. But because all bureaucracy is corrupt on this planet, that is a fact. That is what I've really come to clearly, that our society is based on corruption, and all society's constructs, the banks, all of that is based on corruption. It's all based on nickel and diming people in small or large amounts for imaginary fees just to make stuff up, and then they collect all that little bits of money that we're being charged, their little tiny fees, and it all adds up to millions upon millions, if billions of dollars. You know, and us little guys are doing things like filling out Publishers Clearinghouse thing. So I got this thing in the mail, because you know when you move to a new place, you get all this stuff in the mail, welcome packages, and the new stores, and they want to advertise everything. So you get tons of this like paper stuff, you know, in the mail, and it's annoying unless you want some of it. So the only thing I kept was like a big trucking, because I need to maybe move stuff. But I did open the Publishers Clearinghouse, because I used to get those a lot when I was younger, you know, like in my 30s when I was raising kids and stuff, and I'm still raising a child. But anyways, so I used to fill those out once in a while, and I would probably buy a magazine or two and get a subscription, you know, in hopes that if I bought something, my chances would go up. And of course, they say that your chances do not go up because you buy something, but you always think that they will if you buy something. So I mailed the thing in, and I'm like, I'm going to win the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes, you know, ooh, put all my luck on it, just like projected into the universe that I win. Even though I sort of feel like somebody who's even more broke than I am should probably win the thing, you know. But if I won it, I would be very generous, because that is my true nature, and I understand what it's like to have no money. So anyway, so I do the thing. I put it in the mail, forget about it. I don't even know if it made it. Oh, no, it made it, because this thing came. Okay, so then I get this thing when I came back from my recent trip. I got this, and I was like, ooh, let's see if I got anything. Well, of course, it's the next phase, you know, where you're like, you can upgrade your processing, your order, your what do you call this thing? An application, a subscription, your whatever you call this thing. So your ticket, your processing entry, your entry. So you fill out this thing, and they give you this thing with a gold key, and they're like, you're reading this stuff with my bad eyes, you know. Get the key, the gold special key, and place it over here. And I'm like, on what? Where's the gold key? And I'm fishing through all these papers looking for the one with the gold key, and I finally have it. And this is the one that had the gold key sticker. And you peel it off and you stick it on this little thing in the little spot. And then you're supposed to get another thing that's like the upgraded version. So find that sticker, you know. And I'm looking through all these papers like, seriously? Am I really doing this? And I'm thinking how, I don't know if any other company does a sweepstakes like this, where they send you all these papers with items that you can buy, all these little ad things, and then they make you go through them with stickers and things, you know, little tasks like, oh, I bought the nuts. I did buy 2 things because I still believe that, you know, it'll affect it, even though I know this is just a mind fuck, excuse my French, that this is just a mind game, and how well it works. I mean, I'm doing this. I filled this thing out, and I hunted down. I bought the nuts, and because I figured I might as well spend some of this on food. And I think I bought the knives because, you know, you can always use knives. A good set of knives, I guess. Or actually, maybe I should have gotten something different. But you know, one of these is really handy. You know, back at my other house. So I'm doing all the little things like a good little doobie, you know, finding the stickers, fishing through, and then we were worrying that I threw out the ones that didn't have the right sticker, because I went through all of these and I tossed a bunch of the ones that I didn't need. And the scissors are kind of fun. I have 1,000 pairs of scissors though. And so, and also this handy dandy saw set. Multi-purpose magic saw. I like magic saws. I mean, I could actually use a magic saw, you know, at my other property. So anyways, I'm doing it. I'm thinking to myself, this is really interesting that people probably really do believe that if they follow through with these little sticker tasks, and it can't be that hard, right, to find the sticker and glue it on and do it. If you do it all right, then maybe you'll win. And then I'm thinking, God, what if somebody sent this thing in without putting the right sticker in the right box? You know, would they just disqualify that person? Or would they think, yeah, that person's just not too bright, they shouldn't get the money? Or would they be like, that person's not very bright, they probably can't make any money for themselves, so they really need the money, so maybe that person should win, you know? You have to wonder how random it is. I guess it's random, but I was thinking all this stuff while I was going through this process. You know, what is the deal with, why do they make you pick out a key and stick it on a certain spot and then go to another thing and take out the thing and stick it on another spot, and don't lick this stuff, by the way, go like this, you know, and put it on so you don't eat this stuff, which is completely toxic and poisonous, you know, and they make you do it like 4 different times stuff, and then you're like, oh, and then there's even yet another one, the little gold sticker, you know, and it's just like silly. It made me almost feel good. Like, I've had a terrible day, except for a few really nice phone calls with you, Ron. You know who you are. Thank you, and I love you. There are good men in this world, and Ron is one of them. There are good men. Kat is one of them, and so is my darling Giorgio. I should say that in an Italian accent. Giorgio, I love you. And I also love Ron, and I have other few favorites in there, but I'm not saying everybody's name. Anyways, I feel grateful for the help from my friends through the internet that I've made, that I feel that we understand each other, that we have the same vibration. We want the world to be a good place. We want the world to have fairness and justice. We don't like it when the world is unjust and has no justice. And people go about it in different ways, you know, trying to make the world a better place. I feel that when I found the good ones, they're usually the underground workers, you know. They're usually like the nurses, the healthcare workers, you know, the little guys, the teachers, the astrologers, the, you know, just maybe even people who work at a grocery store that just have a good person vibration that want to make another person's day a better place. And we all have to work at the different levels to bring the light workers, you know, to this really, really corrupt planet. This planet is so, the society is so crooked, so corrupt. And I see it so close to home now. I'm seeing it in my own family. And I think it's possible that people get greedier when they get older. That's what I'm seeing. And maybe they're getting greedier because they just need something else to do. If they've made some money, they want more. Maybe they're getting greedier because their true nature is greedy and they've just been trying not to be too greedy all these years. Or maybe they're getting greedier because they are fearful that they might have a poor old age and they don't want that. I don't know. I mean, I don't really need so much money personally, you know. I want to live in a place that I love. I want to be able to eat good food. I want to be able to send my kids to college if they want to. I want to take dance. I want to be able to dance and take dance lessons and improve and train and study. And then I would love to make money dancing, but you know, with the arthritis, it's like I want to be able to take care of myself if I do get crippled up in my older age, because I am older. So, but I don't need, you know, 6 houses and many fancy cars. I don't need any of that. I'd love to have enough to pay for my dance weekends, you know. And I'd love to start my chocolate company. I'd love to have the startup money and then they make that successful so it's running itself. That's what I would want. And I wouldn't do it because I want millions of dollars just for the sake of having millions. I would do it because I would love to see it successful, because I feel I want to see myself pull that off. You know, and the thing about the 48 million is, like, I don't know, I just like the number 48 million. It just sounds good. It's like such a hard number. I should have made 48,000, but where did that number come from? Well, I love 4s and 8s. They're part of the sacred geometry. The 8 is the infinity sign. The 4 is actually a parallel lines, depending on how you draw your 4. And the zeros, you know. But it's the 48. I just love the number 48. I always have. And 48 million, you know. I think that the 48 million, it's not like I have to have $48 million, but I do want to achieve 48 million something. And dollars would be also great, but it doesn't have to be. It could be 48 million people around the world doing something together. I think that this is what it's about. It's about 48 million people around the world thinking a positive thought and shifting the consciousness on a global level away from greed and selfishness and power hungriness. That's another big one, power. You know, because I'm not alone in wanting the world to be a better place. I know my daughter is solid good. She's going to make the world a better place. She already is by her presence. My 2 other children, love, good, positive, you know. And people can be good and bad. Obviously, most people are complex. I would say my oldest daughter is actually all good. But, you know, fun enough to be, I don't know, to understand. I don't know. But anyways, there are people that are all good. Most people are probably a mixture. And then there's these really bad ones. They're in control of everything. Who are those guys? How? Why? You know, these masterminds that came up with a society based on money, where most of the planets in the universe are not based on money. Most of the planes of dimensions, they don't play with money. It's not the way that things are run, you know. And here it's all about money. So it's a tough game to play because you really do need it to survive, unless you're able to live out in the desert or the jungle without having any money. you know. So speaking of money, back to my publisher's clearinghouse. I want to put this in the mail, but last time I used the post office box here, it just none of my mail made it to its destination, so I don't trust putting this in that post office box. So I'm gonna have to find another, and then I was gonna pin it up to near where my mailbox is, but I almost felt embarrassed that I had this up there, and people would see it with my name and know that I was applying for it. And why would that embarrass me? You know, because everybody's wealthier than me around here. I don't know. Is this something that wealthy people do? Do wealthy people do this? You think that super wealthy people do the Publishers Clearinghouse? I mean, they might. Anybody might, right? You can always lose your fortune. You know. Oh my gosh. Just feel exhausted from the emotional drama of the last 2 weeks. And I want some peace and calm. You know, when you get stuff in the mail from your ex's lawyer, wanting you to, you know, all the discovery, and I don't have anybody here to help me cope with that, you know, and even the new lawyer that I hired was like unavailable, and because it was the weekend, and I was like, I'm alone with this, you know, and except for my kids, but I don't like to burden them with it too much, you know. I mean, my oldest daughter, she can handle a lot, but, you know, so I was feeling really alone in dealing with it in a way, and I am pretty much alone in dealing. But where I do find a lot of support is from you guys, my internet buds, my internet family. You guys are actually the ones in my life that I feel like understand me the most. You know, because when you have a family, that doesn't mean you always jive perfectly, but it's interesting how we have the internet now, and we can reach out to each other through the internet, and we can find each other's real family of vibration. So the 48 million is about the people, the number of people uniting in a cause of positive vibration. You know, whatever we choose, we have to choose one thing: a positive thought, with words and sound and movement that we can do together, 48 million all at the same time. And then maybe we can shift the consciousness of humanity out of this awful, awful, greedy, corporate greed, mind-fucking way of taking money from everybody. You know, the airlines, oh, God, it cost me a $200 change fee, even though I bought the insurance. Because they said, when I bought my airfare, if I bought the insurance because I knew that my body was, I don't know, I just had a feeling I might not make that plane. I bought the insurance. Well, then I can't make the plane because I'm literally crawling, and I couldn't get out of the apartment because of my arthritis. It just got so bad on that for 3 days. I was crawling for 3 days. I was in shock about that. So I'm like nervous about my health. I'm like, yeah, let me win the money so I can have a nice, comfortable wheelchair with a flag on it, you know, so that people can see me when I'm in the store trying to shop. And I'm not just so low down that the people in the deli can't see my order when I say, can I please have some of that swordfish, that delicious-looking swordfish, because I always like to qualify the yummy food. So, you know, the airline charged me $200 change fee to change my plane from Thursday to Saturday, and then they charged me another $200, $400 total for one flight out. I think I already mentioned this, and then, but this is how overwhelmed my brain is. I can't remember what I said and what I haven't said, so that's not cool, but you have to bear with me again. It's been hard, it's been emotional, it's been a lot of crazy traveling, and the stress level, they're making me stutter. So then on the way back, like I think I already mentioned, I had to buy a whole entirely new ticket. That is just highway robbery. You know what they should have? I think if they want to do this nickel and diming to make it a little less over-the-top greedy, I think that they should like have a club that you can join that's like $100 a year, because this card they're doing now with between American Airlines and US Air, they're doing this thing where they're offering you $89 a year fee to join their club, which gets you a bag on the plane. It's a terrible club, but I don't know why I joined that. Some woman talked me into it. I was hoping to get treated better if I joined the club. But what I think they should have is a club where you join for $100 and that absolves you of all change fees. You know, that you can change your flight, or you change it for $25 or $50 instead of $200. You know. And then that thing with the insurance where it was like, I couldn't get on the plane and I wanted to use that insurance. And they said, well, if you can't see your doctor, you have to see a doctor within 72 hours and then we'll honor your application for a refund. Otherwise, we're not going to honor it. I'm like, what? I can't get to a doctor. I can't get out of the apartment. And I can't get a doctor's appointment until next week. I can't even get into the taxi to get there right now because I can't walk down the stairs. And she's like, but sorry, that's our policy. And then all we can do is refund you the $34. But if I couldn't see a doctor, and then it was the weekend. I couldn't see a doctor because it was the weekend. You know? You can't see a doctor on the weekend. 72 hours is 3 days. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I couldn't see a doctor in 3 days. And I feel like the airlines are not honoring people. Real people, and their real needs. You know, and if an airline could start to have some customer service and care about real people instead of just raking in the money, it would be nice. I got tired of getting ripped off at every turn. That was too much. It was like the airline. It cost me $2,000 to do something that should have cost me $500. And then the rental car tried to rip me off. They had to hear it from me, though. The last guy actually took away some of the extra fees because he could see I was so tired of getting ripped off. And then there was, oh, God, I could talk about more, but I don't want to get into it too much. But there was a bunch of other ways I got ripped off besides the painter back then. That was, oh, gosh, why did I let that happen? You know, because you know why? I was working on this property, and then I'm not this one because I wanted him to take care of it. I wanted to trust him. He took advantage so badly. I just couldn't. You know, this is when you're like, oh, I wish I had the husband to help me out with this stuff. But, you know, I was hoping that the two contractors would be the two husbands. And I was paying them, but at least I was having two husbands. But they weren't being good. They weren't even being good employees. They weren't being good. That was upsetting. So I just wish we could make a better world. And maybe we can do it with 48 million people, you know, uniting around the planet in a common thought, like harmonic convergence, which opened up a portal. The harmonic convergence was a worldwide prayer that actually opened up a portal in the time locks for the other Pleiadians to come in, or whoever had to come in and change history. It's really hard to change the time lock because the Time Lords have control over the time, and the linear time we're locked into painfully. And to break a time lock is really hard, but you can do it with a universal prayer if you have enough people. Let's get enough people, you know? So I'm going to go out and try to touch the soil or the grass with my feet and earth and let stress and tension into the earth and let her use the sun to transform it into something useful, like moss or more grass or something, a flower. So anyway, guys, I don't know. Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. I'm going to put it in the mail. So wish me luck. If I had $48 million, I would use it to get 48 million people to join together in a common cause and make the world a better place. I can't close my thumbs because this nail fell off and it's in a lot of pain. It hurts. But anyway, I love you guys. And all you guys who support me and care about me, thank you. I love you, and let's get our vision to happen. So, talk to you later, guys. Love you. Big kiss.